It's funny. Yesterday, um, my mum came home while I was meditating, and she didn't know that that's what I was doing, and she called me, thinking that I was out the house, and I ignored it. But I kind of did one of them, and I saw her name of the thing, um, and I saw that I had 19 minutes left of the 2 hours, and those 19 minutes, she came in the room and saw what I was doing, and then just left. Those 19 minutes felt like 2 hours, and the hour 40 that I had done before that did not feel like an hour 40. And I found that interesting because there's this thing of time, you know, and the only reason I'm posting this to YouTube is for myself to see the progress, to see the progress of me being more here, and also my patterns of being impressive falling off, and more for me than it is for anyone else, which is in itself growth for me because a lot of my life has been about other people. But if you are watching this and you know you're thinking, oh wow, you're doing a 2 hour meditation, I couldn't do that. That's really long. That would be ages. 2 hours, that's way too much time. I could maybe do 5 minutes. Notice whose voice that is that's saying that, because I just did 2 hours then, and it didn't feel like 2 hours. I was a bit shocked when my timer went off, but it also was a while, you know, and I had voices and patterns come up the whole time that said, oh, fuck, do I have to do, why are we doing this? What are we even getting from this? And the more of this work you do, you'll just start noticing these patterns. And the distinction for me is you start slowly, it goes from why are we doing this? What are we getting from this? Being your voice, being you, to, oh, the universe is showing me a pattern that thinks he needs to get things from doing something, you know? That's the kind of switch for me. You know, Kyle Cease did ayahuasca 10 years ago, however long ago, and he said out loud, merge me with my soul no matter what the cost. And I wrote that on my wall for a couple of years, and I didn't actually really fully understand or take in what it meant at the time, but I think I really understand what he means by no matter what the cost, you know, because the cost is a bunch of patterns that called themselves your name, in my case Sam, dying, you know, and that's fear, that's scary to feel like you're dying and then realize you're still here. And once you get a taste of that, really makes you wonder how much of who we express in the world is really our soul, and how much of it is protective patterns that kept us alive through our trauma and our childhood. This is profound work. Partly the reason that I am posting this online as well is because I know that this is what Kyle did. He did this for 100 days, 2 hours a day, posted it online. And I am almost certain that I'll get to the end of this 100 days and go, why would I ever stop that? You know, why would I ever close this gate and just carry on? And I also know that this is how he met his wife, Amber, who I also think is wonderful, because she did the same thing. She posted a video, doing what I'm doing. For 100 days, she said, I'm going to meditate for 2 hours a day. I got this idea from Kyle Cease, who's my best friend and doesn't even know it yet. And that's what happened. She met him, and then they became best friends, and now they're married and have the most beautiful, expansive, healing relationship. And she spoke it into existence. And I think I'm at a point where I'm really convinced now that the world mirrors you. And it's not when things happen that you're happy, which is how I see a lot of my patterns think life is about. And it's what I see a lot of at my places of work. I work at a Chinese restaurant and a pub. Luckily, my teams are lovely and I really enjoy the people that I work with, but the people that I serve in the pub as well, mostly the pub, but yeah, the people who come to the bar and who I speak to and I serve, almost all of them, the more of this work I do, I go from reacting pattern to pattern and going, oh, they're annoying, or they're aggressive, or they're an asshole, to they're scared. They're horrified, actually, and they live in a realm of when things happen, I will be happy. When I have these Jaeger bombs, I will be happy. When I have this another pint, I'll be happy. And I think I touched on this yesterday about how we've been taught happiness is something to achieve circumstantially, and peace is something that we receive. Because if you think you need to achieve, some people achieve peace, they go, I'm going to achieve peace. But then once you've achieved it, you don't receive it because you go and achieve things, so you'll find another thing to go and achieve. So you'll never actually just receive the peace. If you want to go and make money, and that's your goal, I want to make money. Once you've actually made money, you've created an identity of making stuff or going and getting stuff. And so you won't actually receive the abundance, you'll just go and get more money, which is what we see in almost every person of power in this world. But the more of this work I do, I'm really, really, really getting that when we're happy, things will happen. The external reflects the internal, It's been proven if you get a group of people that meditate together, or just one person even, I imagine, the crime rate goes down in that area. Why could that be? It reflects you. It is a mirror to you. And there's people in my life who my ego really wants to tell all of this stuff to. And I really crave this connection. But that's my ego trying to change them, which actually keeps us both at the same frequency. Whereas when I meditate, I release my control of that person being the way they are, which actually takes my foot off their head and allows them to change. But I don't really need them to anymore. So it's quite funny, really. This is only day 2. I mean, I have meditated before, but this is that's nice fresh air. I've got the window open. Yeah, I think doing this is a new thing, and it's really lovely. Because when I'm meditating, I'm also partly, in the first half an hour or so, I'm like anticipating the video after and what I'm going to say. And go, oh, I'll say that'll be really clever, and people will really get something from that, or, if anyone watches this anyway. I hope someone does. Even if one person really feels me and gets something, or gets some sort of release, or insight, or, even just a feeling of connection, soul to soul, that would be amazing. And I think it's worth it, you know. Part of me before committing to doing this was like, what if someone that I know sees this, or what if someone I used to know, but because I think I've showed up as a small separate self to a lot of people in my life, especially through drama school. Oh my goodness. If anyone from that time saw this, they would probably be quite, I don't think any of them would even watch this far into the video, to be honest. And that's okay. That's okay. But I was showing up as a small, inferior, separate self, trying to experience connection. And the truth, get this, the truth for you as well, is that we are, and you are, and I am, connection, occasionally experiencing a small separate self. And that is the truth. We are gods. And that's not in a egoic, like Thor way. I'm not better than anyone else, but we are all love and light and the universe experiencing itself, and sometimes we just pick up things that don't serve us, and pick up patterns that we had to have to survive our childhood. And most people live life, and the only two options, are trauma or not trauma right now, and that not trauma, a lot of people call that happiness, because it's their, like, I'm not feeling my childhood right now, and the collective consciousness is making it harder and harder for people, for anyone to stay in those patterns, but don't try and get rid of them, because thanks, kiddo, you got me through, like, abuse, physical, verbal. A lot of us went through scary things when we were little kids. Like, imagine Kyle Cease. By the way, if you're watching this and you don't know who Kyle Cease is, he is a beautiful soul who I would be honoured to work with in this way, So yeah, please check him out, because he has helped me through a lot of loopholes. Yeah, he's helped me on this journey massively, and I'm very grateful to him. And the more of this work I do, the less I put him on a pedestal, and the more I just admire him, because they're different to me. Pedestal is that, admire is, I just admire him. I admire, and that's me seeing me. And notice that anything that you admire in anyone is you. You're seeing that, you're seeing yourself reflected in that person. And the amount of times I watch his content and I think, wow, how is he just kept saying things in the video, like he's not planning any of this, he just keeps speaking, and it's just God coming through, and it's just he's a conduit for this energy that just wants to, this energy that grows our hair and our fingernails, it just wants to create through you. And if you just get yourself out the way, oh my God. I had a moment there. So that was 2 hours. For the first, hour, I felt nothing. I felt emptiness, right? And to the ego, that's boring. But to my soul, it's a relief. And it's just another word for empty is light. Just light. And it was nice. But I was also thinking, I wonder why yesterday I was feeling a lot of tightness in my chest and a lot of stuff. But today I'm not feeling that much. And I sat upright and I just said in my head, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Please help me. Which are the two hardest things to say as a people pleaser or an empath. That's the hardest thing. Please help me. If you're watching this, 15 minutes I've been recording now. If you're watching this far in, you are definitely an empath. And I urge you to sit with yourself, close your eyes, and say in your head and ask the universe, please help me. because we have been conditioned and trained to do, and that has created a doer who does stuff, and it does not leave space for the powers of the universe to come in and work through us. God wants to work through us, and it's very arrogant, actually, of us to go, nope, I got it, I'm going to do it all, you know, and then I'm so upset that the law of attraction didn't work. Yeah, cool. I'm feeling good. I'm going to go and watch Marty Supreme in the cinema. I love you. See you tomorrow.